Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So it's September 2nd, and I had tried to get my viewers to try and hunt Brothers Bismuth again today because it is the 78th anniversary of Japan surrendering, and a big part of Japan surrendering was the atomic bombs, obviously, and a big part of that, believe it or not, was bismuth. The bombs were made of uranium with a starter containing beryllium and polonium-210. And at the beginning of the Manhattan Project, which is what which ended with the atomic bombs, at first we were mining the polonium-210 from uranium ore, and then we discovered alchemy, basically. First with making polonium-210 out of bismuth, and then we discovered atoms that were even bigger than uranium. So World War II, we came up with a lot of stuff. Alchemy, and also that's when we really started to fly commercially. Right before that, it was more of a curiosity. And unfortunately, I went to, or actually, unfortunately / fortunately, I went to check bismuth prices this morning. Every morning I wake up, I feel like today could be the day. I've had dreams of what will happen one day when I wake up and see that bismuth is worth thousands of dollars an ounce. And I'll probably at least take a little time for myself, and I'll probably call all my clients that I do gig work with and quietly quit on them. I wouldn't say F you to them or anything like that, but I do something about it and free up some time for myself. That way, I'd probably keep my job at the community college, but have more time to myself, and also have more resources so that I could do my job better, right? So, for example, right now the biggest conflict for me is that after doing all this stuff, I have no time to cook for myself, and then I compromise my immune system. That's why I got really sick earlier this year. But I went to check my favorite molten metals, and I discovered bismuth prices finally correct, because all the other metal prices have been correcting. And actually, this past spring, when silver prices corrected, what was it, like $17, $18 an ounce, and bismuth didn't correct, I actually bought some silver again because I felt like I was overpaying for bismuth when everything else had corrected and bismuth had not. So it wasn't a total loss. I ended up buying some silver, and so now I get to buy bismuth on the dip now. But then it occurred to me, bismuth is probably more resistant to price changes because so much of it is used in medicine. Not only Pepto-Bismol, but various chemotherapy agents, and your consumption of that's probably not going to change very much when there's a recession. So, whereas for silver, it's used in cell phones, big screen TVs. You might stop consuming some of that stuff during a recession. So very different elasticities, if you will. You know, when I was in, I think I was in 5th grade at the time, my mom showed me a 7 or 8 ounce gold bar that her grandpa had given her, and when I looked at it, I thought, why gold though? There's so many elements on the periodic table, and at least bismuth kind of makes a little bit of sense. It's the largest weight element that is somewhat stable, right? Gold is just one of them out there, right? When I think about it, sometimes if you stop and think about it, if you don't think about everything you've learned or been brainwashed with, a lot of these things don't make a whole lot of sense, right? All right, so continue to buy bismuth. One of these days we're going to wake up as billionaires, and I don't know. I'd like to keep my job at the community college even after I become a billionaire with bismuth, but I know that's going to be challenging because everybody knows what I do, right? But I like to have a more balanced life, have time to cook for myself, or maybe stop cooking for myself altogether, and have time to in between activities, right? I love everything I do, don't get me wrong. Even the wacky clients I talk about. I love learning about all the wackiness and all that. I love making my art projects. This is something I'm going to pour next. And I love all of that. It's just that when everything comes at me too fast, there's no time to breathe in between activities. That's when I daydream about Bismuth going to the moon. One night, I dreamt that Bismuth had gone to the moon, and Peter Schiff was laughing at all of us. This was like Bitcoin 3.0 now, people buying Bismuth and all that. And there was no sign of Bismuth ever going back down, but Peter Schiff still wanted to laugh at all of us. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.